It always starts the same way. You turn off the light, pull the blanket up to your chin, and let your body sink into the mattress. The house is quiet. Your mind begins to drift. But then, like clockwork, it hits. A low-growing pressure in your lower belly, the kind that won't let you ignore it. You groan softly, sit up steady yourself, and make that familiar walk to the bathroom. You tell yourself it's just once, but it never is. Once becomes twice, twice becomes 3 times, and before you know it, the night has passed, and you haven't slept longer than 90 minutes at a time. The next morning, your joints feel stiff, your balance is a little off, and your legs, they just don't have the same strength they used to. You chalk it up to age. But what if it's something deeper? Something your bones are quietly trying to tell you. After 60, your body changes in ways that are easy to ignore until it's too late. Osteoporosis doesn't scream. It whispers. It steals from you in silence. Until one wrong step turns into a hospital bed and months of recovery. But here's the truth. You are not powerless. In fact, there's something you can do, starting with 5 simple minutes a day using foods that may already be in your kitchen. It doesn't come with flashing lights or dramatic symptoms. There's no pain at first, no warning, no loud alarms. But quietly, year after year, your bones begin to lose their strength. Not because you did something wrong, but simply because your body stops rebuilding itself the way it used to. After the age of 60, your bones naturally lose density. And in women especially, after menopause, this loss accelerates. Hormonal changes, reduced calcium absorption, lower vitamin D levels, it all adds up. And by the time you realize it, your skeleton, the very frame holding you up, has become fragile. Here's what makes it so dangerous: you can't feel it happening. Unlike a cut or a bruise, osteoporosis is invisible until it's not. You might feel a little back pain, you might notice your posture changing, or your height shrinking ever so slightly. But most people don't recognize it until they fall, and one fall can be all it takes. A broken hip, a fractured wrist, a compression fracture in the spine. And suddenly, the independence you've always had walking, cooking, even climbing into bed starts slipping away. But what if you could catch it before it gets there? What if you could build back what was taken without drugs, without surgeries, and without fear? Science now shows that nutrition is one of the most powerful tools we have to fight bone loss. And the best part, it's not complicated. It's not expensive. It begins with everyday foods and the right knowledge. Because food, when chosen wisely, becomes more than fuel. It becomes medicine. And in the next part, we'll reveal 15 powerful everyday foods that help rebuild your bones gently, naturally, and permanently. Most people think the answer lies in a pill bottle. Calcium tablets, collagen powders, bone-strengthening injections. And yes, medicine has its place. But what we often overlook is that your bones are living tissue. They respond to how you move, how you sleep, and especially what you eat. Food is not just about calories or flavor, it's instruction. It tells your body what to repair, where to rebuild, and how to stay strong as you age. And that's where the real hope lives, because the foods that heal your bones aren't locked away in pharmacies. They're already in your kitchen, or just down the aisle at your grocery store. Simple ingredients, affordable, no fancy labels, but powerful beyond what most people realize. We're talking about foods rich in natural calcium, magnesium, vitamin D, vitamin K2, phosphorus, antioxidants, and plant-based compounds that activate your body's natural bone-building processes. They don't just prevent further damage. They help reverse the weakening that's already begun. And if you still think that sounds too good to be true, let me tell you about Margaret. She was 66 when her doctor told her she had early signs of osteoporosis. At first, she panicked. She didn't have the money for specialists or expensive therapies. But instead of giving up, she decided to fight with food. Every day, Margaret started small. A few prunes in the morning, a bowl of yogurt with chia seeds, a handful of almonds in the afternoon. Spinach sautéed with olive oil for dinner. She didn't follow a diet, she built a rhythm. 6 months later, her bone density scan shocked her doctor. Not only had the progression stopped, her bones had begun to remineralize. Her strength returned, her balance improved, and her confidence grew, all because of what she put on her plate. Margaret's story isn't rare, it's just undertold. That's why in the next section, we'll walk you through the 15 most powerful everyday foods that help fight bone loss one bite at a time. Foods you've probably seen hundreds of times, but after today, you'll never look at them the same again. Let's begin with the quiet heroes of bone health, the plant-based foods rich in calcium but often ignored. They don't just provide the minerals your bones need. They deliver it in a form your aging body can absorb and use efficiently. 1. Fortified tofu, the bone builder in disguise. Tofu is soft, simple, and for many unfamiliar, but it's one of the best non-dairy sources of calcium, especially when fortified. Made from soy tofu, contains complete plant protein, magnesium, iron, and a special compound called isoflavones, which mimic estrogen and help prevent the rapid bone loss that often follows menopause. Even better, the calcium in tofu is highly bioavailable, meaning your body doesn't waste it. It gets to work strengthening the mineral matrix of your bones. Tofu also absorbs flavor like a sponge. Sauté it with garlic, bake it with herbs, or toss it into a veggie stir-fry. It's easy, it's versatile, and it works. 2. Collard greens, the gentle giant of the garden. Collard greens are rich in calcium, magnesium, and vitamin K, all essential for maintaining and restoring bone structure. But their real advantage, they contain low levels of oxalates, compounds found in some greens that can block calcium absorption. That means your body can actually use the minerals in collards. Try them lightly sautéed with olive oil or chopped into soups and stews. They bring more than flavor. They bring reinforcement to your bones. 3. Cooked spinach, still a superfood. Spinach has gotten a bad reputation because it's high in oxalates. But here's the twist. When cooked, that problem nearly disappears. Spinach delivers calcium, magnesium, vitamin K, and antioxidants like lutein and zeaxanthin, which reduce the oxidative stress that weakens bone tissue. Pair cooked spinach with a vitamin C-rich food like lemon juice or bell peppers, and you'll boost absorption even more. 4. Sesame seeds, the tiny titans. Don't underestimate them. Just a tablespoon of sesame seeds offers over 80 milliliters of calcium plus magnesium, zinc, and phosphorus, which all work together to rebuild bone matrix and prevent fracture. They also contain lignans compounds that help protect against oxidative damage. Sprinkle them over your salad, mix them into yogurt, or spread tahini sesame paste on whole grain toast. One little seed, a whole lot of strength. 5. Chia seeds, small but serious. They're trendy for a reason. Chia seeds swell into a gel when soaked, but inside your body they work harder, providing omega-3s to reduce inflammation, calcium to strengthen structure and fiber to improve gut health, which is key for nutrient absorption. Just a spoonful in yogurt smoothies or water can support bones daily in a surprisingly quiet but powerful way. When people think of strong bones, they often think of milk, but not all dairy is created equal, and not everyone can tolerate it. Luckily, there are smart, senior-friendly options out there, some creamy, some crunchy, all designed to deliver the nutrients your bones crave. Let's explore a few delicious choices that go beyond the milk carton. 6. Plain yogurt, the creamy champion. Plain yogurt may look ordinary, but it's a bone-building powerhouse. In one simple bowl, you get calcium, protein, and probiotics, a trio that works together to strengthen bones, nourish your gut, and improve how well your body absorbs minerals. A healthy digestive system means your bones get more of the calcium you eat instead of flushing it away. Tip Go for unsweetened plain varieties with no added sugar. Add berries, chia seeds, or a drizzle of honey if you want a touch of sweetness. Even better, many yogurts also contain phosphorus and vitamin B12, both critical for bone cell renewal and structure. 7. Parmesan cheese, the tiny crumble that counts. This hard-aged cheese is more than a flavor booster. It's one of the most calcium-rich foods per ounce you can eat. Because Parmesan is aged, it also contains highly bioavailable calcium, which means your body absorbs it easily. Plus, it delivers protein, another key component in maintaining strong bones and muscles. Yes, it's salty, but you don't need much. Just a sprinkle over veggies, soup, or eggs adds not only flavor, but bone-protecting benefits. Bonuses, it stores well, lasts long, and is easy to portion. Perfect for seniors who like things simple and powerful. 8. Fortified almond milk, a gentle alternative with muscle. For those who can't drink cow's milk or simply don't like it, fortified almond milk is a worthy substitute. Enriched with calcium and vitamin D, this plant-based drink helps rebuild bone tissue and supports calcium absorption, especially important as vitamin D levels often drop with age. Many brands also add vitamin E, a powerful antioxidant that protects bone cells from damage caused by free radicals. Use almond milk in your morning coffee, cereal smoothies, or even in cooking. Just be sure to choose unsweetened and calcium-fortified versions, not the flavored sugary types. These dairy and non-dairy options are simple, accessible, and deeply nourishing. You don't need to drink gallons of milk or eat blocks of cheese. You just need consistency and awareness of what fuels your frame. And now let's move into some lesser-known but equally essential foods that support your bones from the inside out. Strong bones aren't built from calcium alone. To hold your skeleton together and keep it dense, resilient, and flexible, your body needs a team of nutrients working in harmony. Think of it like a construction crew. Calcium may be the bricks, but magnesium is the mortar. Phosphorus is the blueprint. And vitamins like K and B12. They're the skilled hands making sure every piece ends up in the right place. Let's meet some of the most powerful and often overlooked foods that bring all of this together. 9. White beans, the bone builders in your pantry. White beans are soft, versatile, and incredibly nutrient-dense. They contain plant-based calcium, magnesium, and phosphorus, a trio essential to forming and maintaining bone structure. They also offer fiber, which supports digestion and helps your gut absorb minerals more efficiently. Bonus white beans have a low glycemic index, which helps stabilize blood sugar, and that's important because blood sugar spikes can increase inflammation, which weakens bones over time. You can enjoy them in soups, stews, salads, or even mashed as a spread. They're affordable, shelf-stable, and quietly powerful. 10. Broccoli, the green that guards. Broccoli is one of the few vegetables that checks every box for bone health. It offers calcium, vitamin K, and antioxidants working together to enhance calcium absorption and reduce bone demineralization caused by inflammation. Vitamin K in particular helps direct calcium into your bones and keeps it out of places it shouldn't go, like your arteries. Steam it lightly, roast it until crisp, or blend it into soups. Just don't overcook it so the nutrients stay alive. And yes, frozen broccoli works too. 11. Banana, the balancer. Bananas don't contain a lot of calcium, but they help your body keep the calcium it already has. They're rich in potassium and magnesium, which neutralize excess acid in the body. Why does that matter? Because when your body is too acidic, it pulls calcium from your bones to fix the pH imbalance, slowly draining your skeleton. Bananas also support collagen production, thanks to vitamin B6 and trace amounts of vitamin C. Soft, portable, and easy on the stomach, bananas are a smart snack for maintaining bone-friendly balance every single day. We often hear about antioxidants in the context of aging skin or heart health. But here's something most people don't realize. Your bones age too. And just like your heart and brain, your bones are vulnerable to oxidative stress, microscopic damage caused by unstable molecules known as free radicals. Left unchecked, this stress breaks down bone tissue, slows down regeneration, and increases fracture risk, especially in seniors. That's where antioxidant-rich foods come in. They don't just delay aging. They help your bones heal and rebuild from the inside out. Let's look at the quiet heroes in this fight. 12. Almonds, crunchy shields of strength. Almonds are more than just a healthy snack. They contain magnesium, calcium, and phosphorus, all essential for bone structure. But what makes them unique is their high level of vitamin E, a potent antioxidant that protects bone cells from breakdown. They also support fat-soluble vitamin absorption, which helps you make better use of vitamin D, a key nutrient for absorbing calcium. Just one small handful a day, raw and unsalted, can provide long-term protection for your skeleton. Bonus, they're shelf-stable, portable, and naturally satisfying. A perfect daily habit for healthy aging. 13. Beef liver, the underrated miracle. Yes, liver. It might not be everyone's favorite, but beef liver is one of the most nutrient-dense foods in existence and an extraordinary ally for your bones. It's rich in vitamin K2, vitamin D, vitamin A, iron, zinc, and copper, a rare nutritional combination that supports bone renewal, collagen formation, and calcium placement where it belongs. K2 is especially important. It activates proteins that direct calcium into bones and away from your arteries, helping to prevent both osteoporosis and heart disease. Liver can be sautéed mixed with ground beef or blended into pâtés for a gentler flavor. Even one serving a week can make a noticeable difference in bone density and strength. 14. Egg, the silent multitasker. Simple, affordable, underrated. Eggs, especially the yolks, provide vitamin D, phosphorus, choline, B12, and protein. Together, these nutrients maintain the scaffolding of your bones while also supporting the muscles and nerves that protect your skeleton from falls and breaks. Think of eggs as connectors, strengthening not just your bones, but the entire system that keeps you upright and moving. Poached, scrambled, or boiled a couple of eggs a day can feed your bones more than you might expect. And the good news, they're no longer considered a cholesterol villain for most people. In moderation, they're incredibly heart and bone friendly. And now, as we near the final chapter of our list, it's time to meet the most surprising bone-healing food of all, a wrinkled little fruit with the power to reverse bone loss. Sometimes healing doesn't come from a laboratory. It comes from a fruit bowl or the back of your pantry. In the case of bones, the most powerful restorative food may also be the most unassuming. It doesn't crunch, it doesn't sizzle, it simply heals. Let's end this list with a food that has left even researchers amazed. 15. Dried plums, prunes. The bone regenerator. Yes, prunes. They may remind you of digestive health commercials, but inside each wrinkled piece is a remarkable combination of minerals, fiber, and antioxidants that specifically target bone health. Dried plums are rich in boron, potassium, vitamin K, and polyphenols, plant compounds that have been shown to slow bone breakdown and promote regeneration of bone tissue. Studies in postmenopausal women have shown that eating just 5 to 6 prunes daily can significantly improve bone density in the hips and spine, the two most critical areas for fall-related fractures. And here's why it worked. Boron helps the body use calcium, magnesium, and vitamin D more effectively. Polyphenols reduce inflammation and oxidative stress in bone cells. Potassium balances body pH, reducing calcium loss through urine, all from a fruit that fits in the palm of your hand. Want to make it a habit? Eat a few with your breakfast. Mix them into oatmeal, chop them into yogurt, or enjoy them as a sweet treat after dinner. Over time, you may notice something amazing: more strength, less pain, better balance, and bones that begin to feel alive again. Margaret was 66 when her doctor leaned forward with a concerned look. Her latest bone scan showed advanced osteopenia one step away from full-blown osteoporosis. He spoke gently but clearly. If you fall, it could change everything. She smiled, politely nodded, thanked him, but inside fear bloomed quietly. Margaret lived alone. Her children were grown and far away. And the idea of a fall, a fracture, a long hospital stay, it wasn't just scary. It was a threat to her independence, her rhythm, her life. For weeks she stared at the calcium supplements on her kitchen counter. They sat unopened. She didn't like pills. She didn't like the idea of waiting, hoping they would work. So instead she opened something else, her notebook. She began writing down foods, things she heard in videos, ideas from a friend at church, tips from an old magazine. It started small. 5 prunes in the morning, a glass of fortified almond milk in the afternoon, chia seeds stirred into her yogurt, spinach and collards with dinner sautéed gently with garlic, tofu baked with herbs, a few almonds before bed. She didn't count calories. She didn't follow a trend. She simply gave her body what it had been missing in the most natural way. One day she noticed her knees no longer creaked when she climbed stairs. A few weeks later, her balance improved. She stopped using the wall for support in the hallway. Even her sleep felt deeper. But the real moment came 6 months later. Another bone scan. This time her doctor blinked twice, looked at the chart, looked at her, then back at the chart. Her bone density had not only stabilized, it had increased. Without medication, without physical therapy, without any high-tech intervention, just food, consistency, and quiet faith in the body's ability to rebuild. Margaret left the clinic smiling, but this time the smile came from strength. Her story isn't a miracle, it's proof. Proof that your body listens, that it responds, that even after 60, 70, 80, your bones are not finished growing stronger. You just need to give them the right reason. So now the question isn't can it be done, it's will you start today? Because every day you wait, every morning you reach for the wrong food, every night you go to bed thinking, I'll deal with it later. That's another inch lost, another layer of strength quietly slipping through your fingers. But it doesn't have to be this way. Maybe it starts with a handful of almonds this afternoon, or a bowl of yogurt with chia tomorrow morning. Maybe you open your fridge and see tofu not as foreign, but as fortress. You don't need a perfect plan. You just need a beginning. Because bones are not dead tissue. They are living, breathing, responding to every choice you make. And just like Margaret, you can rebuild what time has tried to take. If you've been feeling this too not weakness but a quiet question rising inside you, then stay with us. Subscribe to Senior Fit, where growing older doesn't mean growing smaller. It means growing wiser, stronger, and still moving forward. And if you're ready for the next step, don't miss what's coming next. The 10 worst foods that secretly weaken your bones after 60 and the simple swaps that rebuild your strength naturally. Click now, because the first step toward healing might be the bite you never expected.